So his name is Terunobu Fujimori. He's a professor at Tokyo University, and he's basically an architectural historian, but at the same time he does design buildings in Japan and also in overseas. He was invited to this exhibition for RMIT Gallery Shelter on Kindness, and so he decided to make a shelter which is actually a tea house as part of the exhibition. So for the tea house in Japan, normally it's a very small space and very dense, and some people come inside and have a kind of tea ceremony there. So he wanted people in Melbourne to come and experience that very tiny space, which would be very interesting. Normally, if you build a tea house outside, you have to have a roof, which is for the waterproofing. But this time, because it's inside the gallery, he was able to have a kind of porous, sort of open kind of finish for the wall, which was the main difference. In Japan, people use scorched cedar for the external timber panels, and that's because by scorching timber, the panels get more durability, so the building lasts longer to have that by having that timber scorched panels. Normally, they use flat timber panels, which are sort of not too strong. But by using the timber twigs branches from Victoria bushfire, it looks quite strong, and physically it's stronger as well. So he did the design beforehand in Japan, and they had a builder to help for the specific, difficult work. But the students did the sort of easier part, like the tying timber panels or assembling steel bars. And this time, the students are very enthusiastic. Sometimes if he does similar work overseas, sometimes half of the students were just playing around, not doing really the work. But Australian students were very enthusiastic, and he was very surprised to see them working hard. When they were doing the construction of the tea house, the roof actually slightly went down, and so he had to collect the actual scorched timber from the Victorian bushfire area, which is King Lake. And so he decided to go to that area and just to see the landscape, which was very impressive. And also he met the mayor of that area as well. And so it was very great experience. And also by having that the middle and the center sort of branch to support the roof, it actually looks pretty natural, and he thinks it's very successful. So in Japan, the bushfire of Victoria was broadcasted widely as well. But by seeing the real scene there, even like houses, trees, even cars were burned, it was so impressive. And the other thing is after a couple of months of bushfire, he saw some of the trees sort of starting to regrow again, which he thought it's very impressive, and he was surprised to see the strength of the natural trees growing. So By making the tea house with the scorched timber, he thought he definitely needs to have some sort of a green element in there. So that's why he decided to use asparagus as a sort of a symbolism of the regrowth of the bushland area with a sort of a base of the grass at the bottom. So after going to the bushland area, he thought he needed to symbolize that bushfire. So he decided to have that scorched timber piece in front of the tea house, but also the green asparagus sort of symbolizing the regrowth of that area. So he thought that those two elements are very important to show the regrowth of that area and symbolize the bushfire. At the first place, he wasn't sure if Australian people would understand the design or the idea. But after having many people, he was very happy. And also, especially some people were very impressed, and some people wanted to shake hands with him, or many people gave him applause. So he was very happy about looking at those people impressed by the design and tea house. He thinks that Japanese people would appreciate, and they will be very happy to hear that there's another very tiny tea house overseas which was completed, and people very much appreciate that.